welcome back here to the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio with the one and only true American icon, Mr. Robert Conrad. And I tell you, Bob, you're getting emails, you're getting phone calls. The place is rocking here already at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, now listen, what I always repeat, and I know you're tired of hearing it. I look
No, we're not. We love it.
into the camera and tell our audience that are in that, what's that place where everybody hangs out? What's it called?
Our website. You're on the radio stations, you're on the cable system, syndicated around the country, and then we have a camera going here. So if you don't watch the show on the internet, you can go to YouTube and check out the segments of the show at crntalk.com, and that's the camera Bob's referring to.
Yeah, anyway, I want to thank you for, as I say, this is redundant. I'd hate to be repetitious, but this is your show. It's all about you. It's all about what you want. So one time slowly, we will give you the email address. So please, if you wish to be in touch with us on what I say, your show, here's how you can do it. Mike, would you please tell them?
Bob's email is the letter R for Robert, R, and then Conrad, C-O-N-R-A-D, as if you didn't know how to spell that, but R Conrad at crni.net. Charlie, Robert, Nancy, Indigo.net.
Okay, good. That worked for me.
That works for me, too.
Who else?
Especially the indigo.
Who else has ever been attacked and sprayed by a skunk?
What happened to you, my friend? I've heard this story. It's laughable now. But what happened to you last night?
Did me in.
What? You got to tell a story.
I'll tell the story in a minute. But first,
you smell fine. I got to tell you, I was a little worried today.
I should have.
I was worried.
I spent the morning in the bathtub. Hello. All right, let's just do this. Let's do a phoner, and then let's do email and a phoner and email, and so we get attacked.
Brian, you're on CRN with Robert Conrad.
You're on.
Hi guys, how are you all?
Good. How's it going?
My pleasure to talk to both of you all.
Thank you, sir. What's up?
Love you, sure, Uncle Bob.
Well, I'm glad you love it because I liked it myself, and the reason I put it on here is because everything else smelled of skunk. Tell that story later. Anyway, what's on your mind? We've got a lot of calls, so let's move on. What do you got?
I was going to talk about the network stars. Now, you know, before you did Battle of the Network Stars, there was one time you did the Superstars. And you were on there against Bill Withers and Mike Cole from the Mod Squad. You remember that, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't remember that. But thanks for bringing it up. I'll look it up. But thank you.
Well, it got down to the weightlifting contest.
And did I win it?
Bill Withers just barely got you.
Oh well, you know that's my history of losing on those contests. I lost to the last 30 yards. Someone said, "How'd you do racing against Gabe Kaplan?" I said, "Well, I beat him for 80 yards." It was those last 30 that I couldn't somehow come up to. But that got me the Ever Ready commercial, the controversy. And my dad called me up after that controversy and said, "You are an idiot." I said, "Thank you, Dad. Thank you." Then I called my dad back and said, "And Dad, I just made my Ever Ready deal, and it's significant, and I am now a rich idiot." So there you go. All right, Brian?
Sure. And then I heard you're going to have Glenn Ford's son on, and of course, I think he and you were like the best horsemen. I'll call them horsemen.
Well, thank you.
Guys that could ride really good.
Thank you for saying that. There was a contest, and in the top 5 of motion picture actors were Glenn Ford and Robert Conrad.
Was it a real contest, or was it just kind of a assumed contest?
No, it was horsemen making judgments about what actors could actually ride horses.
That's great.
And Glenn could actually ride a horse. Thanks for recognizing that, Brian. Appreciate it.
And one other thing, it would probably been between he and you as far as who could pull a pistol and draw it and fire it fastest, too.
Well, I don't know. I'd like to get you when you're in your sleep, but I'll trust you. Okay?
Listen,
yeah.
You all have a great weekend, and let all these other people get on here. And thank you again for letting me talk to my childhood idol, and now you're my hero.
Oh, man, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Now.
Thank you, Brian. 1-800-336-2225. We got a line open.
I have the complete set of DODs, which I watch regularly, and I even found Susan Kessler's fine, rare book. Okay. And I love animals, so I really like the fact that whenever you tied up your horse, you always gave it an affectionate scratch. Was that the same horse used throughout, and were you really close with your horses. That was the same horse all 4 years. The first couple of episodes, there was another horse that I used, but it didn't have the same mojo as the one I ended up with that I bought and named Superstar. And then when the show was over, I kept it. And then when my daughter Joan turned 16, I gave her that horse that she loved until its death in its 50s. And at the risk of wearing out my welcome, when the members of the Rat Pack were on the show, was it a big party, and did Frank stop by? Thank you for giving me years of entertainment. Thank you for watching, because without you, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because you're the audience. And from Toronto, and it's Ray from Toronto. So thank you very much for this letter and those kind comments. And I just gave you the response I think you might have wanted. What's going on with you guys? I see some activity.
I just heard some noise coming from the controller. Wanted to make sure it wasn't bleeding over onto the air.
Yeah, all right. And we're looking for that little bit of the Peter Falk. Okay, now, did you find any difference working for the different networks? If so, what were they, and did you prefer one over the other? Hey, Dan from White Mountains, the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Let me say this, all three networks, there weren't four when I was doing the show.
ABC, CBS, NBC, that was it. Yeah.
Well, then Fox came. I was still around for that. But no, they were all interested in the bottom line. What were the numbers? What were the ratings? And it was harsh, and they didn't care. I mean, they cared about Monday morning. We were on Friday nights. And Monday morning, it was, what were those numbers? And then I paid a lot of attention to those numbers, because in the final years of my career, before I went into radio, I paid a lot of attention to what are the numbers.
Got to look at the numbers.
And I still pay attention now to where are the listeners? Are they there? That's why I embrace you guys and love you guys. And one of those persons that I embraced and love, my ears perked up when you said you liked history and languages. Those were my two favorite subjects in school. I majored in French and in college, and I minored in history. Well, good for you, girl. I hope you didn't have a temper tantrum. Something must be eating at you for you to admit that. Take my advice and have a granola bar. Well, thank you.
Good.
Take care, and God bless.
Who's that from?
Do you love that?
Yeah.
That's one of our listeners.
Granola bars will calm you down.
Well, she knows. God bless you for your paying attention and for that suggestion. And in the old days, I'd have a beer, but now I have, what do I have? What's that water I order all the time?
You like Perrier water.
No, I don't
you
like Perrier.
Not Evian. You like,
No,
what do you like? Pellegrino. Pellegrino water. Thank you.
Okay, so I really enjoy this conversation. I wanted very much to let you know that I considered joining the FBI or the CIA, because that was as close as I could get to being James West. Wow.
Oh, wow.
And did I have the athleticism or endurance? If I had, I would have. I really enjoyed appreciating an autograph. I really appreciate an autograph if you could give me a headshot from Black Sheep. I'm sorry, Peter, I don't have one. I do not have one.